So I was watching this YouTube video by this guy, and he was talking about his experience of getting bullied back in middle school and high school. And as he was talking, my memories resurfaced of my times getting bullied in that era also. So I personally wanted to talk about my story. And it all started off in third grade when me and my friends were getting called gay for liking anime and Sonic. I don't know why that was their mindset, but let them speak how they speak. I'm over third grade because another reason why I wanted to make this video is because I seen this post on Twitter, because for some reason they want to call it X when no one wants to call it that whatsoever. And the post said this. Well, it was something like this. Seventh grade was the worst time in my life. And when I was reading the comments, I'm like, wow, this must be a universal experience because not a lot of people clearly enjoyed it. And of course, not everyone's seventh grade year was bad. But, for me, that's when my bullying actually peaked. And it all started off with this. So in the beginning of school year, I was determined to lock it in, get good grades, and, not gonna lie, just look good for myself and the ladies. I'm not gonna deny the part about the ladies. I was also trying to look good for them. Don't do that, by the way. And I don't know how it all really necessarily started, the bullying, but, I was just getting made fun of and my confidence dipped. All the stuff I got made fun of was my hair, my skin tone, my shoes, and I just wasn't popular at all. For someone that was athletic and played football, and my football stories would come another time, I would literally always get picked last in gym class in every activity, and I don't know why. It didn't even matter how athletic I was. Everyone seen me as beneath them, and not literally everyone, but you get my point. Now, for my hair, I feel like every black male has went through this. This is a canon experience. I don't know why, but black parents and me, I was raised by grandparents, so they were really pushing this. Every black male was forced to get a low fade or a ball fade back then when they were younger. I've always despised it, and I never liked it. Like, I remember when I wanted to try something new out, I'll talk to my papa about it, and he'll be like, go talk to your mother. I'm like, for what? You just know what she's going to say every single time. She just wants me to get the ball fade. Like, it was so bad, she would not want me to try out anything new. Like, if I had a mini fro, that wouldn't even really be a fro. I would just be like, can I get a line up? And she'll be like, no, go get your hair low. I'm like, all right, whatever. So, I never really got to express myself with my hair in that way. And not gonna lie, when it comes to expressing myself, like, I'm about to make that another video. But getting to the real point, so, I just gave up on trying to get another style. But when it comes to my skin tone, for context, I'm dark skinned. And I would get made fun of by my own race for being dark skinned, dude. I would literally get ranked the darkest in my grade. You know what I mean? And this was the era when light skins were winning. So if you were dark skinned, you were seen as beneath everyone, bro. It was so sad. It was so bad, I would literally get made fun of by other dark skins. And I think they would use that as a coping mechanism to make themselves look less dark, I guess. I don't know. But it didn't work whatsoever. And for my shoes, I never really used to have the most expensive shoes. I would always go to Walmart to get like N1 branded shoes and some other brands. I don't remember what they exactly were. And I have something to talk about that later. So I have a confession to make. My main bully was actually a girl who was also dark skinned, by the way. And for this story, I'm going to call her Vanessa. I don't know what Vanessa's damage was with me, but she did not like me at all for just no reason. Like, she had a list of people she did not like, and majority of the time it would literally be for no reason. Like, literally, she will always randomly make fun of me for no reason. As I said, my skin tone, she will always point out how low my hair was. She was talking about how unpopular I was. She never made fun of my shoes, but she would do anything to just bully people. She will always, I think I already mentioned this, but she will always pick out easy targets all the time. She will always go after the quiet ones. She was not cool. And looking back at that, I think she was insecure in herself, because I noticed that every time when she was so-called, quote unquote, popular with some other girls, or not popular, close, she will always make fun of them behind their back. And that honestly just goes to show what type of person she really was. And I will give you a couple examples of how this girl really was. So one time in seventh grade, we were getting new assigned seats, right? And my teacher had this blueprint of where the assigned seats were at, and how she was doing it. She was calling out our names while tapping on the desk. You know, we're in middle school, so people are gonna be talking, like doing small talk as they're moving around, and the class is kind of loud. But we all hear the teacher or where to sit. So the teacher says Vanessa's name, and then right after that, she says my name. Vanessa gets loud. Mind you this, no one's paying her any mind. She gets loud saying, "Oh my God, I don't want to sit next to that bald-headed ass boy." Mind you this, no one is paying attention to her. But what makes you say that? She literally is announcing that she does not want to be associated with this person. That's sad, bro. That's sad. And it's crazy, man. And it's crazy, bro, because she literally seen me as beneath her. I did not even associate with this girl. I did not even talk to her. I don't remember even one exchange we've ever had with each other. And she just had this weird vendetta against me. Like, I'm not even lying, bro. She will always find a way to just announce that she did not want to be around someone. And it was sad. I'm not even lying to you. Somehow on majority of duo or just group projects, I was always assigned with her. Or somehow I had multiple seats in multiple classes with her. It got to the point where I'm like, okay, I'm going to force myself to sit somewhere else. And that's what I did. And guess what? I was a good student. So the teacher didn't even care. She was confused, but she didn't care. And another thing this girl has done before is that I remember one time in 8th grade, I was sitting in the back and I was like touching my nose. I wasn't doing nothing. I was just touching it. And the girl, Vanessa, was watching me. And then she was talking about, that's disgusting. The girl next to her was like, what are you talking about? Vanessa's going to say that ugly ass boy in the back. I'm like, what made you even say that? I didn't even say anything. I'm saying that in my head, though. I'm like, what made you even say that? I don't mess with you at all, nor talk to you whatsoever. And then you know how like when someone just got trash talked to and someone else will talk under their breath, and then the person that just trash talked was like, what was that? Bro, I didn't say a single word. And Vanessa was like, what you say? What was that? I'm like, dude, like, what are you talking about? Are you hallucinating? Like, I don't even know what this girl's damage was. As I said, she had something against me. And I have one more memory to bring up about her. And this actually has to do with somebody else too. So the day before school on a Sunday, I was in the neighborhood. And for this story, I'm going to call her Rosie. Rosie was good friends with Vanessa. I used to be friends with Rosie at a point. I used to hang out with her. But once she started hanging out with Vanessa, I just kind of started staying away from her and stuff. I had nothing against her, but it's like, dude, you went from hanging out with cool people to this girl that likes nobody for no reason. I bet she doesn't like you either. And this girl, Rosie, literally said I looked like a cancer patient because here's what happened. This barber I went to, I told him to give me a low cut, right? Not a ball fade, a low cut. This dude gives me a ball fade and I am embarrassed to the point where even my mother was shocked. And, the next day at school, I'm scared. I'm literally hiding myself because remember, I never liked ball cuts. I'm hiding myself. I'm quiet to the point where I'm hardly talking to my friends and my friends were worried. And my friends were actually aware I didn't like those ball cuts either. So they never made fun of me for that. And, we're in class. I'm chilling to myself. I'm hiding myself at the same time, though. Rosie and what's her name? Vanessa, they were both making fun of people in that class. And then I came around, but mind you this, Rosie was whispering in her ear. Oh, I wonder why you're whispering in her ear, because what she's saying is wrong. Tell me why this girl, Vanessa, decided to go out loud and be like this. She said that Kayvon looks like a cancer patient. Bro, no one laughed, bro. But I began crying and put my head down, and I was just in misery. It was so bad, even the boy bullies were like, bro, like, that's not cool, bro. Like, what's your problem? Like, we don't, like, you cannot go that far. And I even had a good friend defend me and stuff. He was talking about, how hard he was trying his best not to come to school and hide himself. And it just goes to show how cruel people can be if you just look a certain way, man. Like, you know what I mean? And remember when I was mentioning my shoes? So back in 7th grade, if you don't know what ESO is, it's early high school classes. And what it is, you could just get high school credits, you know what I mean? And the second half of the school day will be empty because people are going to ESO. So I'm in the 7th grade hallway chilling to myself. And the two most popular guys in the 8th grade classroom, mind you this, they were already in ESO during the year. So they clearly got kicked out. These guys were like flexing fake money, and it's just us three in the hallway. And I don't know how they noticed, but the slang, your shoes are talking. Well, my shoes were talking. Somehow these guys spotted that, came up to me, put my flap down. They said a little something to me, and they put the money in the shoes and they walked away. And the girl from their class was like, "You guys are so rude." But guess what? She laughed about it. So she didn't even really care what those guys did to me at all. And I'm not gonna lie, bro. Like, I'm glad that no one was in the hallway to really see that, because if my main bully was there, I probably would have to fight. And I'm not talking about fighting the main bully, of course, but you know what I mean? It just goes to show like how cruel this world really is. If you don't have a certain style, you don't look a certain way, you don't have these shoes, this, and that, you're getting made fun of, bro. You're getting seen as beneath people. And it was so bad for me, bro. After that year, bro, I just gave up. I didn't care how my hair looked anymore. I wore the same hoodie every day in high school. Well, at least for a couple years, like 2 years, something like that. You get my point. I didn't care anymore, bro. And honestly, I remember I said during high school, I'm never going to get a girlfriend during high school. I'm trying to lock it in my grades. And that was partially the truth, but I'm going to be real, bro. It was a coping mechanism, dude. I gave up. Like my grandparents would never let me try anything new. I didn't care anymore, bro. I just didn't. I gave up. And when my adult years came around, I decided to change myself. Now look at me. I'm 23. I got dreads. I got a job. I got a new style. I changed myself around and worked on myself. And soon I'm going to be moving out pretty much soon. I'm working on my life, man. And honestly, that's all you really need to do is work on yourself. Don't ever listen to another person's opinions, bro. Even to the point where you don't want to even listen to your parents because you feel like that's not right for you, man. And that's something that I had to learn. From now on, man, really just focus on yourself. And another thing, man, the people that are in middle school and high school watching this, don't worry about popularity, because once you graduate, that popularity fades away. And some of those people that were popular won't ever let go of that, man. It's scary peaking in high school. Imagine peaking in middle school. And that's why I'm glad that I was honestly a quote unquote loser. And I'm ready for a new life, man. And honestly, looking back at those times, it was something that I really did need for myself and I, man. Remember, focus on yourself, bro. And I'm glad that I got to share my experience. There will be more videos coming out soon. And I love you.